Good morning. I guess that should be a high pass. Probably kick 2. I don't think this loop really works very well for this track. Doesn't either. It does. Somewhere there is an effect that has ham tone to it or something. Try to get rid of that if I can. This one? No. Hey, thanks, man. Still sort of trying to get arrangement done and get it down to like 4 minutes. This is I'm using a template from F9 for the drums and effects. I wrote a different one, and I'm just trying it with different sort of arrangement and drums and FX and stuff. But thanks for joining in. Nice to see you. I don't know where the heck this is the problem with templates, is I don't know where that tonal sound is coming from. This one is already, I'm just going to get rid of this because I'm not going to use anything in there. Do this one? No, maybe it's just a combination of everything. All right, what if I mute effects? It's somewhere in effects. Just has a... Oh, I got rid of it. It doesn't have the tone. I think this originally was in A minor, so I don't know. some of the effects are like tuned to that key, and they don't sound good with this song, which is in what, F minor, something like that. Yeah. That should just be the same. Not the automation. Automation lock. This part, the audio should be the same. And I kind of want to take that and just get the MIDI out of it if it will actually do it correctly. Pretty good to me. I actually think this note is supposed to be there at all. Beep boop. Nope. Nope. That part sounds good. This should just be the same as that, I think. Works for me. All right, I just wanted to get that into MIDI somehow because I thought maybe it would make sense to continue it or to bring it back. Although, let's hear it not soloed. I think we're good up to here where I've highlighted. Now that doesn't really fit, does it? That's too much. Oh, that one's fine. It's this thing down here in effects. All these effects probably are going to have to be replaced. Where's that coming from? These? Use the 909 class for everything, man. I mean, for good reason, I think, but... Thank you. That now doesn't work because we've moved this back earlier, so it's the bass, the sub, and the piano are being introduced at the same time, and it feels too rushed. So maybe this needs to go earlier. Does that work? Maybe this entire part gets saved for a different drop. Alright, so yeah, we'll just try to like save that for later, I guess. I think. It's gonna feel empty. That feels good. Or we could take this one out at this point and bring these guys in here. What if we did that? So here we are at the part where I think this breakdown is way too long in their arrangement. So we're going to take all this stuff, all my stuff, and move it down the line, I guess, like from here on. We'll take all that and move it over. Oh, and this too, right. So everything in from here to here, I think all of that is all mine. And that's all theirs. So we're just going to move all mine. Oh, turn automation lock off. And that's everything. Okay, cool. So move all this stuff kind of down the road here and see where it starts to feel no good. I think this is not necessary. Drums are too busy. Too much clap. I just need a different clap. Take this clap 2 and high pass it. There's another clap. Cool. So they use velocity to control the filter, I guess. Maybe. Or it just is quiet, doesn't need a filter. All right, well, I better remember now to go take the filter that I just added off of clap. I think I'm going to put some effects on the master because that transition's a little rough and I don't want to deal with lots of automation at this point. This thing is awesome. Master FX Plus V2 by Algonaut. No, so this is really cool actually, Toboggan. This is like I am combining a bunch of different things. Like a lot of the drums in this are from F9 Milano, F9 Tracks Milano, which is basically a template. I've already tried this track with my own drums and effects with 2 templates. And basically like all the stuff that is, you know, this is my stuff, basically. This is everything that made it over to this track from my original demo. And everything else is from that F9 Tracks Milano. It's just basically like a very large template that comes with all this stuff. And they come with like 2 different versions. One with all the instruments laid out so you can hear the entire song the way they wrote it. And then one with the instruments in there, but no actual notes written. It's just the drum arrangement. So, like, I don't know. This is a bit, novice-y or whatever because that's where I'm at. But I've struggled a lot with finished arrangements from demos. So this is a really cool way to work. You can just put everything in and just like. Once you get it to where you like what it's doing, you can start swapping those things out, or you can even export the whole thing once you get the levels right, because it's really easy to mix when the drums are already done, right? And for me, anyway, it's very hard to mix relative level without a reference. So I'm basically using the drums in this as a reference to mix as I go with my own elements. And then when I'm done, if I feel like, this is great, but it's not my work, I could actually just export this, sounding good and use it as a reference track and click back and forth. And it's like the perfect, what's the best reference track you could ever have is like a reference track that actually is your track, but with everything mixed well and drums. So then you sort of could take this and, you can go as far as you want to or as far as you have time to do, depending on what the project you're working on is. But like, it's really nice to hear like a finished-ish version of what you're doing. So I definitely recommend it. I think a lot of people frown on templates, at least on provided templates that you don't make yourself. But I think the goal is, for me anyway, use whatever tool is necessary to get you better and to get you able to do tracks to a point where they feel finished. So like the faster you can get into that, the better. So if like, it's much better and much easier if you have a specific genre that you work in. And if you do not have a specific genre, but you want to compose in a genre, then I think you have to use a template if you want it to be like, or use a shitload of reference tracks and have like really amazing ear training. Because I don't know, like for instance here, this is a different template. But like, all right, so here's one where I wrote the harmonics and I used a template for the drums, and everything that isn't drums is stuff that I wrote. And the original one sounded like this. So those are the drums that I wrote or picked or whatever from Splice. You get the idea. Like, it's fine. It's good. It's a good demo, but it's like, it's not even close to like balanced, and it's hard for me to write stuff that is balanced without drums to put it over, without like a finished sounding thing. So what I used to do is stem roll, finished tracks and use those as references. I take the drums from a finished track and put that under my music. And that works kind of, but stem roll drums aren't really mixed in. They're just kind of laying on top of everything else. So I took that one, right, and I tried it with this, which is great because it gave me a whole arrangement and it gave me a few ideas. This is a Splice template. It's like how to make progressive house in an hour or something like that. And there's a video tutorial that goes with it. But a lot of cool tricks in there from that video too, like just using Selena strings as a drone throughout the entire first half of the track. But this gave me like a general arrangement and a sort of a vibe of like what it should sound like. So I mean, that clap. Those hats, the kick. I thought my kick was actually okay, but this kick is better. Just kind of having all those like in place made arrangement so much easier because I just have this loop, and then when I put the loop in with someone else's drums in the genre that I'm trying to write, I like realize, oh, I made all this stuff on there and I did this build up, but that's not where I need a build up because generally the vibe of the thing is going to go like this. So one thing that I still need to get better at like that drop feels pretty fire to me, like and a lot of that has to do with like the bass and the bass being at the right level and the right design. So like when I redid that with a different track and I swapped everything from the original template out, I lost a lot just because the mix was already done in that one. Like if you listen to like this, like it's way too bright during the build. It's cool, but it's not. I swapped out everything, all the effects, all the drums, everything like that is different, but sort of using the original. So what I need to do now at this point is to take the actual original track and use it as a reference to remix mine to get everything right back to where it needs to be. And it's nice having a template as a reference track, because instead of having just one track that you mute or unmute or do metric A/B on, you have the stems basically, because you have each part all broken out. So like, like the snare roll is way too low. If you listen to like the hats are the little shaker hat thing is too loud. And the interesting thing is that they're not too loud. They're the same level they were in the other one, because I did pretty well A/B-ing the samples I was replacing and leaving everything else mostly the same. But if you listen to this one, like, versus this one, like that snare roll, and I actually didn't replace the snare roll. The snare roll is the same. So I didn't replace anything on that, and it's at the same level it is in the other track. It's just that the bass, I was like, oh, this bass doesn't sound that good, so I turned it up, or I never turned it down, or whatever it was. So once everything gets brought back to using that as a reference track, this, which sounds, fun and good to me, but it doesn't sound like this. So like, it's just I have multiple versions and I'm trying to get better at this sort of like not worrying too much about like what the work I've put in means, or like, it's just like get something, once you've got a demo where you like, you have an A part and a B part in your demo and you like the notes in there, or you like the audio you recorded if you use external synth or whatever, then, try that in like 10 different genres. And the only way that I know of to try it quickly in a bunch of different genres is something like this, where you have pre-written templates that are mixed that you can just like go to and put them in there. And like, super pros who do this all the time probably have their own that they've accumulated over years. But sometimes it's nice to have a leg up and some sounds that all work together. And I mean, if you buy like, I don't know, 10 templates like this, and you save all of these drum hits, as I've been recommended to do and never seem to be able to remember to do, put this, like drag this in Milano kit, or like progressive, or not progressive. What is this? This is like, what is this? Tech house. Some kind of tech house hybrid. Anyway, if you drag all that stuff in and you have like a tech house folder that you put all this stuff from these templates in, then like, I think that's like most of the way towards being somebody who makes tech house hits like quickly, is like having all the sounds you could possibly need in a place where you know to get them. So anyway, was that enough talking? I think it was enough talking. It was way too much talking. Okay, so I don't know why there's this big hole in the original arrangement. I'm sure it makes sense, but I'm just gonna cut it. So I feel like this is enough of a breakdown for me. I'm not looking for a 32 bar breakdown. So I'm just gonna delete everything here, except maybe keep that. Put my 909 snares where they could go here. So we have a nice little breakdown. I don't think I want these here. So now we need like a riser there. And instead of just like trying to make a riser or find a riser in their template, I'll just do one, I think, real quick. Well, let's see. There might be something easy here. Whoop. Oh. These are audio tracks. Yeah. All the audio tracks are monitoring. That's really annoying. Okay. All right. Effects. Yeah, no, I'm just going to make my own thing. And I could probably take one of these. Like, what do we got? We got this guy. I don't want to use that. What other... I had more MIDI in here somewhere. The lead, right. Lead synths. So... yeah, we could take this guy. See if we could just take the serum out of it. That should be easy enough. And we'll call this serum riser. And where are we looking for? Where are those 909s? There. Yeah, I like using MPE because I can tell it specifically where to start and where to end up. I like using it with what do you call it? You have to use scaling or snapping on. So that's Control F4 in Ableton. This is going to be way too loud. Okay, and that's where, so I don't know, I probably shouldn't do this on this track, but I'm going to anyway. So I put this Master FX2 thing on the master so that instead of having to worry about like all my lows and filtering each thing individually, I can just kind of go like this. And then theoretically that should do the trick. Too much. This might actually stay down here. So it's controlling this, which is just an auto filter, 2 auto filters, and bop, skibbity bop bop doo bop. Yeah, that's a Hanson classic. It didn't occur to me, but now I will. Skibbity bop 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 doo. Yeah, yeah. I can. Sure, we could drop that in here. I don't want the copyright hit though. Don't apologize. If you're not in the mood for Hanson, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not in the mood for Hanson, but it's okay, man. I get what you mean, 100%. All right, so now what we need to do is, since we've gotten ourselves back to the beginning, basically, at that point, we're going to do this part again, I think. Like, yep. Wonder if we should include the drum break. Probably not. After that build-up, we actually should probably just go back to the drop instead of going to the intro. But because this has to be under 4 minutes long. I'm good. This has to be under 4 minutes long for the thing that I'm trying to do. Well, let's just try it real quick. So if we don't go back to, if we don't go to the drop, right, we want to go back there because I do like the way that this part flows from this part. So if I delete these and we go like this and just sneak everything back, theoretically that should do it. Need something to, oh, it's not going to move those because they were not open. I don't like that. Oh, it's just because automation is open. All right, so if I take everything here, and then kind of do one of these. Riser. Put all this stuff here. Oh. So that's the riser. Okay, so well, I've gotten myself into a weird situation here. No, I haven't. Yeah, I have. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to go right back to the bass. And then we're going to take all this stuff and incorporate it back into the riser. And this will get us back to the start of the song, I think. Oh, shit. Right. All this stuff back to here. This is the problem. I'm so bad at this part of making music. Maybe. I don't know for sure. This lead is definitely not working at that level here. It's got too much low. Hmm. You're saying reduce the number of notes on this? I don't know. I don't want to get into a whole editing backseat producing thing right now. But I will, if you explain in more detail what you mean by that, which piano, because there are now 3 pianos in here, or they sound like pianos to me. If you type in which one of those 3 you're talking about, then I will try to do that offline. feel like I'm missing a loop. I think there was another loop I had. I'm probably going to have to stop pretty soon. Yeah, that one. Maybe I can introduce that now because it's so freaking cool. This was this track with the other template that I was messing with. But yeah, and then this is what I had on my own before using any templates. Anyway, which sounds cool. It's not quite as good. All right, let's just listen to what I got so far because I think I need to take a little break and move on to other things like my life that is not this music. The best part of being a good producer, the most important part, knowing when to stop. It's time for me to stop working on this. Because it seems like I made some progress, and I don't think I'm really hearing it as a whole song anymore. So I'm going to export it and then maybe give a few listens and come back to it tomorrow. Tomorrow I should have plenty of time to institute all of Dex's wonderful strats. Check him out on Twitch, what is it? Fuck. Usually it's right there. Ignis Music. Wait, I'm gonna find it. He's probably streaming right now. Yep, there he is. So how good does it feel? Yeah, Ignis Music. Check him out. Asked to join the stream at any time. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I could like try that sometime. I don't know how it works, so I'm not gonna do it right now. But anyway, I'm gonna check Ignis out for a little bit. So maybe I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Peace. Have a great day.